this figurine is Pinocchio, I think. Just raked this out of this new dump. See the feathers going on his hat there. It's not perfect. But I'm looking around. Just got here, raked that out just that deep, 4 rakes, and raked that out. So when I get this, right when I got here, I raked this out too. It says Griffin all white, but that's not a good bottle. It's screw top. I find them all the time. It's common. But anyway, I'll get back when I see something real cool later. You know, if I can find these places, look at these things. I find these all the time. Like some kind of beetle. These are cool, huh? Put him up there. We'll put this other one up there so you don't. Look, there's another one there right there together. Put them back up there. But you know, I've dug this right here. All these bottles have come out. Look at this, a Coke, just inches under the surface, and you couldn't see none of this. And heck, this one's, oh, it does say something. Hold on. You see, it's probably Sistersville one even here. It is. It's in real nice condition. And I like these Cokes. This is probably from like, it'll say on it. I think the date's here on the side on all of these. But it's probably 50s. I can't find it. It's all dirty. It's on here somewhere. Right here. 1952 Aqua Coke, and it's perfect. That's going right in the bag. Get back on my next one later. All right, see, look at this ground over here. I could see some glass here the first time I come, but didn't think it was going to be a very good dump. You know, I'm by a road pretty close, and this is an older bottle. That's 1958, but there was a lot of stuff close to 1960 on the surface. I'm down this far, I'm hitting layers, and look at all these bottles just out of that. And I got that Coke, and I just raked this out. This is off an old door in a house, like a wooden door, and this would have mounted to it. And then when you turned the key, this would have come out and locked it. And look how good a shape that's in. It's been in the ground up here since at least 1955, I would guess. But look at this layer I hit, and you'd never see that if you didn't dig. Didn't dig a little bit. Now, I know there's marbles here because I found a few last time. There's kids' toys. Look at this. There's old rubber tires off a truck or something. There's lots of newer stuff, but a lot of these bottles, you know, these Whitehalls are probably the most common thing that I find. I find them on every dump. Like, I probably have, well, I have hundreds of them at my house in a box. I'm not going to take no more of them, but I just wanted to show you the stuff. Here's a bottle. It's got embossing on it, but I find them things all the time too. I'm not really sure what they are. I've never looked them up because they're just so common. Later. Man, there's bottles just thick in here, and this is all the deeper I've gone. Imagine what's way down there. But look at this. Thought that was a light bulb at first, but it's some kind of container. Probably said like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. Just, all right, look at all I've dug, and look at that pile of stuff. And I just raked out this. You've seen me find this kind of stuff on them other dumps. I don't know if that has a chip right there. I think it is. I won't take it if it does. Yeah, it's got a chip on it. But you can see there's all the same. Look, if this stuff's whole, whatever's in here is going to be nice. Look, the caps. I'm throwing these up here because I'm going to take the caps off all of this. They're all nice. There's a sunspot. There's a Listerine. But look at all them unique little caps. I'm going to screw all that stuff off and take them for my other bottles. You want to do that. I haven't even gone deep here or nothing, but there's just, you can't even tell by looking at the surface of the ground. And there's just all kind, look at that. You know, it's hard to tell what's in here. You can see where I pulled, right there's the cap to that mason that I did with the lid. I pulled it right out there. Well, anyway, I'll get back on my next one later. There's stuff everywhere on this dump. Look at this. Got my little clippers here. I'm right under trees, so there's lots of roots, and I'm cutting them out and just raking down in here with a hand rake. Here's a soda. Dr. Sewell's root beer, and look how good that label is. St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not going to take that. I hate them ACL colas. I like the embossed stuff. I don't hate them if they come out, you know, real good. But look at that layer of stuff. Oh man, there's going to be a lot of stuff come out of this dump, but it's going to be a lot of digging to get a place opened up. I'm going to open up a couple places today, and whatever I find will be on the video, and then we'll keep coming back here in future videos because this is an all new place from where I've been. Later. Big button, but man, folks, man, this is either a Chinese coin or another token. Look right here. Look at this layer back in here. Oh man, this dump's probably gonna be better than the last one. I can't tell what's on it, but there's definitely stuff on it. Let me get it, I'll spit on it and wipe it off here. I can see stuff on it. I don't know what this is. It's like coinage. Feels like, I don't know what it is. But I've seen Chinese coins with holes in the middle. Let me wipe this off. This is cool. Later. Well, I got fooled. I think this is just off of like a clock but man, that sure looked like a Chinese coin, but it didn't have nothing on it. Unless it's slick, but I think it's a piece out of some machinery or something. Later. There's another hand cut shell button. It's nice. I'm gonna go take the ones out. I got like 10 or 12 like plastic ones in my pocket. I'll show them on cleanup. Probably put them in this thing. Here, I'll show you real quick. Let me get. See, there's a big black one. That might be Bakelite. I don't know. But I got other ones. I got my car keys and stuff in here. Hold on. Found a little bottle. I'm just finding stuff consistently. I'm trying to get into the older layers. But you can see there's 3 or 4 more buttons. One's porcelain. Get this little perfume bottle. But I'm still at it. I'm just kind of moving around and trying to find an old layer up here. So I'll get back on my next one. Later. Well, that's another hand cut shell button right there. All right, I like these, and man, they're in nice condition. And I got all them ones from the other dump. I'm gonna have a heck of a button collection. I'll frame them all up in a raker mount with like a black background, and I'll have all, it'll take me another 6 months at least, even if I find them here consistently, to fill a big raker frame. But you wanna save all that kind of stuff. These hand cut shell buttons are awesome. They look awesome. Somebody wore them on clothes and they're handmade. And there's bone ones usually in with them too. Later, there's all kinds of old clothes thrown away here. Look at this shell one. And it's kind of convex on this side. It's cool. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of them if I keep finding them like this. Look at that one. There's all kinds of different ones. Somebody threw away a whole bunch of old clothes right in here, and the clothes are done gone. And all that's left is the buttons. Later. Button, and look at the back of this one. It's different. It's like it's been cut. Say the thread can go through, and that shell. All right. I love these things, and look how many different varieties I'm getting. Later. These are all 3 shell buttons, and look at that big one. They're just perfect, and they're made hand cut out of mussel shells, probably from the Ohio River. And I just went up here and took that last one from the last clip up here and put in this thing, and came down there and took one rake, and all of these popped out. And that's why I found that token. That token was in an old shirt pocket or something, and I found it right by these. And somebody's thrown away clothes, and that token's been in that shirt or something around that, in that shirt. And it's hard to tell what I'm gonna rake out of here, folks. Could be anything in here, and I'm seeing everything. Later. Man, I'm gonna have a nice collection of buttons. Look at this one. This is brass, and it's like a pilot wheel design. And right there, it would have had that hole in it where the string went through. But man, I've just got tons of them. More big ones. I got this green one just a minute ago. There's gonna be a whole collection of buttons, and look, Phoenix wares coming out of there from Japan. I'd like to have a whole piece of that. Well, my mom would. I have a teacup, a salt and pepper shaker, and a plate that I found in another dump. And you can see all I've dug here, and I mean, there's buttons in here every few swipes. I'm gonna have a heck of a collection of buttons. That brass one's awesome with the pilot wheel. Later. Well, I like these bone ones the best. Look at the patina on that bone. These are just masterpieces, these little handmade buttons. And when you get them cleaned up and restored back to normal, and they're framed, you know, man, look at that. And it's hard to tell what else is gonna come out. That's out of a round pair of eyeglasses, I think. I might take it, but I don't know. But I'll get back. I wanted to show that bone one. I found many more buttons in there. I'm not showing them all. I don't want to bore you. But look at this. This is all I've dug. And you can see how loose the soil is. I'm just taking my time, and I'm seeing everything. If there's a coin, I'm going to see it. If there's a tiny bead, I'm going to see it. If there's anything, I'm going to see it. I'm not missing nothing here. And this is how I like it. It's on the lip of a hill. I'm right at the top, so it drains real quick, and the stuff's awesome. That bone, these bone buttons and stuff are usually destroyed. I'm finding it, folks. Later. I just raked out another one, and look at this. They're almost, look at this shell one on top. I'm pretty sure that white one with the engraving in its shell. And look at some of this stuff. There's just all different. Plastic ones, porcelain, shell ones, bone ones. Oh man, folks, and I mean they're all different. You can see in here, I'm seeing everything, and I'm just going up through here real slow and finding these. Man, I'm gonna have a heck of a button collection out of here later. Some of these buttons are amazing. This one's shell too. It's got carving all around it on this side, and look at this side, it's got carving all over it. Look at this big bone one here. I've got this, there's just tons of buttons down in here. This is a whole frame full, and this brass one, it's real heavy. I thought that was a coin, but that's a button. Oh man, folks, this is a button collection in one afternoon. I've been here like 2 hours. This is all I've dug, and I'm just hand raking and looking at everything real close. Little bit different dump, little bit different soil conditions, and it's just kind of like powdered dry sand kind of. It's not sand, but it's real dry. So man, wait till you see these framed up with the other shell and bone ones I got on that other dump. It's going to be a whole raker frame full. Anyway, I'll get back later. All right, I'll show you some of the different ones, because I can't show all of them if they're just plain, because there's too many. But look at this one. It's shell, it's handmade, and it's got a flower design cut into it by hand. And you can tell it's shell. And man, these are mostly just destroyed. This ground's so dry, and it stays so dry because, like I said, I'm on the top of a hill, and I'm right on the lip going down, way down to a creek, just about like that other dump. But this is nuts. I've never found this many big variety of buttons, and I've been doing this a long time. Look how filthy I am. I'm just wringing wet with sweat. But it's worth it. Later. Well, I'm pretty sure that's abalone. You can see it's hand drilled there, all handmade, and I'm pretty sure that's abalone shell. Look at it, it's got that sheen to it. Man, I mean, this is like, you know, people collect buttons like they do marbles. I haven't been too big of a button collector, but I save them, and I've never found this many awesome ones. This is like, you know, there's lots of women that collect buttons and have them framed up in their house. If you go to that Werther museum where they make those knives in Ohio, that guy's wife just has a whole room of buttons, and they have an Arrowhead collection there too. I saw it a long time ago when I was a kid, but I remember all the buttons. Man, I'm gonna have a nice display. And they're all shell and bone mostly, but there's some other ones. But man, somebody threw a bunch of clothes away in here. Later. Painted, that's a salt and pepper shaker. It looks like it might even have a, yeah, made in Japan. That's perfect. I'm gonna take it. You know, not gonna leave it. But it's a shame the other one's not up in here. I was kind of a surprise find. I'm over here on a place where there's, well, I can go deeper, but I'm trying to follow this scene with these bottles or these buttons and get as many of them as I can. Look at that. Well, anyway, I'll get back on my next find later. Look at this. There's just, look here, 2 more shell buttons right here, and it's hard to tell what's coming out of here. All the buttons are different. This one's a little different. It's got, and these are all shell. They're heading it out. Look at this one. They're all handmade. That one's probably got designs on it. We'll have to get it cleaned up. But I mean, and I'm just seeing everything because the soil's perfect. Trying not to miss nothing. Oh, look here. There's a live one. Look at that. Another big shell one. And this one, oh man, look at the design on that. You know, I think that's porcelain. But look, another different one. There's just buttons everywhere. I mean, here's another one. Look at this. Shell one. That's shell for sure. Handmade. Look at this. I'm gonna have a whole raker case of these from a few hours of digging, and I can come back and just have a heck of a collection. Look, another one just with my hands. Another shell one. And there's no doubt about that. I'm finding some, oh, look here. Looks like one right there. What the heck's that? Oh, this is a different one. Look, it's like a, oh, no way. There's so many. Look at this. It's an oval shaped one. I never found one like that here today. I have before. But man, this is like a button. I thought that last little hoard of buttons I got into. See, there's pieces of other ones that have already disintegrated. Wonder what this says. Nautilus, USA, E43N5. Let's see if it has no designs on it. But my goodness. Well, what's that? And a bone one. Look at this. Look at the patina on that bone. Oh, no way. These buttons are awesome. This is definitely bone. Look at the patina on it. Man, folks, this is the mother lode. You know, I'm not a big button collector by any means, but these, I know how these will look framed. If you're finding this stuff in dumps, like, oh, look here, scooting it around with my hands, another shell button. There must be millions of them in here, and I'm gonna be finding them. Because I know what these are gonna look like, framed up with, you know, like a big Riker mount with like a black background. They're gonna pop, and I can put, oh, look here, a huge shell button. It's a huge one. Oh man, folks, somebody just must have threw away so much stuff here. I have to go slow because I want to get all of them I can. Everyone's important now after you find that many. And I can put the dump name on the back of the thing where I found them. These are from people in this town. And shell and bone buttons are old. You know, they stopped making them. I'd like to have some more of these brass ones with like the pilot wheel, because who would think that these would look that good in here. The conditions just, I don't see any more right here. Let's take a little more down out. See if we can't pop some more stuff out. And you know, I'm finding there's not as many bottles over in this area, but I'm still raking bottles out. You can see there's glass, and this is unbelievable that there's this many buttons here. I'm surprised that there's not any marbles. Found them marbles over there. I was hoping to find some marbles today, but I'll get on them. It just depends on where the stuff was thrown away. It might be marbles today and tomorrow, or it just might be buttons today, might be bottles the next day. It just depends on what you get interested in digging, pretty much. And you know, I could leave these buttons here, but I think they're important enough with them being handmade and how nice they're gonna look that I do it. I get them all. And I'm sure there's some women that are gonna watch this that have a button collection, and this is gonna be perfect for you. And I'm glad I could bring you this. That's why I'm doing it. Huh. That's one of those coffee filter rods. US patent 1927. It's one of, I think that's for an old coffee machine. I'll take this thing off the end, that wire. Yeah, I think that's what that is. I found these before and I looked it up. It's good, but that's cool. It'll look nice in the top of a bottle. I'll take that for sure. See, I'm finding other stuff. I got a Coke up there. I might put that in this video. I got a couple other cool little perfume bottles, but not the kind of bottles I'm really looking for. But the buttons are cool enough. I'll get back on you. That's enough live. I just wanted to kind of show you what I'm doing. You can see that layer isn't very deep. Maybe try to get one more here real quick, and then I'll turn this off. I just don't want to bore you with, because I've went a few minutes in between finds here. Hear the glass up in there. There's bottles right up in there. I can feel a base of one, but none of the bottles have been really good. Feels like a beer. I'm gonna have to get the shovel and cave this down. I'll get back on my next find. I thought there was no marbles here. And I've been finding little wheels off cars and stuff, and I got one, and it looks awesome. Okay, here. Ooh, it's got a real nice pattern to it. Look at that blue in it. Might be an alley. Let me get it wiped off. It's a nice one. Look at the beautiful blue and like clear and white. Look how nice the pattern is on that marble. It's just a little smaller than a regular size marble, and it's real nice condition. Happy to get that. It's the first marble of the day, but we got that hellacious button collection in here. Wow, folks, on fire today with the buttons. Later. Yeah, I just got a coin. I don't think it's a big gold double wiggle. Otherwise, I would have done a Pete Rose slide down the hill for real. If I ever break out a big gold coin in a place like this that came out of clothes, I promise I'll do a Pete Rose slide with no shirt on down the hill. I don't care. But I got a coin. Don't know what it is. It's probably a weedy, but we'll probably have to get it. And I think I can see Stinking Lincoln right there, but it's a wheat cent for sure. I'll put it in the thing, but got a coin. Later. This is 1954. It's got the cap on it. Look, it says VSR on both sides. I'm not taking that. I just thought I'd show you. The farther I go back over this way, there's way more bottles. You can see right there that white stuff's crushed buttons. There's buttons everywhere. I'm gonna take that red cap, but I'm just gonna stay a little bit longer. I got a late start on it again today. I had to mow river a lot for my dad and do some other work, and I'm kind of tired from all the digging I've done yesterday, man, on the river. See, there's old, that's old. But I'll get back if I find anything else. That might be it, but I'll get these buttons cleaned up and you'll see them. They're gonna be awesome frames. Later. All right, that'll be it. I just dug right over there, and I got a whole tub full of buttons there and all kinds of smalls. I can't take no more. You can see I'm just filthy. I sweat real hard all day and the dirt sticks to you and I feel miserable, but it was worth it. Wait till you see these buttons framed up. You will in this video. I'll probably arrowhead hunt tomorrow, we'll see. But another thing, and I got that nice marble, that's probably in that really nice old alley agate. But where I found that Amos Point laying out, the water went up overnight, so that was only a 24-hour window. But that blade and that Amos Point, if I wouldn't have been there just at, like within a window of hours, it would have been covered up. Every time you're not going, there's points exposed on those beaches all week long. Take that into consideration. Later, folks. Hope everybody's doing good. I'll be back in a couple days with another upload. Later. I'll give you a real good shot of what I'm doing to clean these buttons. These shell ones, you don't really want to wet them. You can use a wet cloth, but just like with a drip of water on it. It's going to take me hours to clean these, but I'm going to stay up till they're done for the video. I use these pins. Get the dirt out of the holes, you can see there, and then I use a loop, and I scrape the dirt off. And then I use that wet rag to wipe them off, but you don't want to get them too wet because they'll come apart and crumble. They've been in the ground a long time. These are all hand cut shell buttons. Wait till you see how these look framed. You want to save this kind of stuff. You want to frame it nice, and it makes for a nice collection. Just wait till you see this. I'll show you Squirrel Man too. Later, fix. Alright, I've been up cleaning these buttons. Got them all cleaned up. Just a regular size raker, you can see here. Use like one of the pins out of the raker and a needle. And just a real light brush and a wet towel. Got a little cup of water and just kept dipping like the towel in it. And scraping the stuff off and then wiping it. Because almost all these white ones are old shell buttons. And if you dip them into water, they just turn to a paste. Been in the ground a long time. All these darker ones up here are bone. There's Abalone. This is Abalone for sure. I think this is too. There's all kinds of weird ones. I'm not even sure what some of them are made out of, but some of them are carved, some of them aren't. There's some unique shaped ones. It's just an instant collection from one day, and you can see what you get there. It's a great little collection. I think some of these are bakelite. Look at these big ones in the middle, and like this one. This one's like shell on the back. I don't know if that's abalone or not, but it looks shell on the back. I'll have to look at them more. I'm whipped. I stayed there longer than what I wanted because I wanted to get these. And there's porcelain ones in here. Like this one's porcelain, this one's porcelain. I think there's a couple other porcelains, but most of them are shell and bone. It's pretty impressive for one day. It's an instant collection. So there you can see what you can have if you just spend the time on them places. And you'll find any dump has these. And just think 20 frames of these all framed up. They're not, you don't want to leave them. So there you can see what you get. Later, folks. Alright, I'm in here. I see some movement under the blanket. Squirrel Man's got bed sheets up here and everything. I just had to wash them for him. He makes a mess. Look under here, folks. Look at him. Oh, buddy, you up? Look, he's wanting an ear up. Here, let me get out of the... Oh, buddy, you woke up? Sorry I woke you up, buddy. Old Squirrel Man's doing good. It's late. I had to clean up all them buttons with them pens and stuff. It took me forever. You get pass out now. I just wanted to show you my buddy. Didn't take me as long to do them buttons as I thought, but it took me a while. Oh, buddy, you wanting a belly rub? Huh? Well, Squirrel Man's doing great. I'll show him again in future videos. I've had him. You can get back in my videos for you new subscribers. I got him when his eyes were shut. I found him when I was like at the dump, and it was raining. He was all wet and shivering. I come home and fed him with a bottle, and he made it. So you're a good boy, huh, Squirrel Man? Huh, buddy? Look, he likes the ear rubs. Look at him. Squirrel Man. He's a good boy. I'll put you back in there, buddy. You can get back to sleep. Alright, folks. Hope you enjoy this one. I'll probably arrowhead hunt tomorrow. I don't know. I'll have to look at the water. Do something. I'm doing something every day.